All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. NASCAR 08 Craftsman Truck Series racing here tonight, race number 9 of 25. And I know a couple people in the chat are saying you're not racing at Las Vegas, but trust me when I say we are at Las Vegas. I know this wasn't the 9th race of the season in real life. For some reason, there's a mishap on the gaming schedule for the season mode playthrough of this game. So, with that being said, we've got Las Vegas here today. We have had a caution fest here in the Cup Series race. We had a couple cautions in the Busch race, but it was fairly tame for the most part, so I have no clue how this truck event is going to go. Let's get it done without further ado. Let's get this race started. I got the hiccups right now. That's why I was kind of sitting around here for a couple minutes before starting the stream. It's still kind of lingering. I'm sure it'll go away eventually. I haven't really done much to adjust setup-wise, so let me put a little extra downforce on this bad boy, and then we'll go out and qualify. Under the weather, but I'm here. Appreciate that, man. I feel your pain there. No Cup today? No. Taking the day off of Cup for NASCAR 08. I'm trying to keep, most of these seasons pretty consistent with one another. And I think we're at, race number 9 or 10 for pretty much every series. I'm curious to see what Las Vegas is going to bring, though. I have a bad feeling this could be a wreck fest. I really hope I qualify well to try to avoid that. It's got to be something to do with the remodel of the racetrack on this game compared to the earlier EA games before this, because this is the first year with the current version of Las Vegas we would have today. The repave, and then obviously the higher degree of banking in the corners. It's not the flat Las Vegas we had in the earlier games. The game's broken. Oh, it definitely is broken. It's not NASCAR 21 ignition broken, but it's broken. Yeah, last on lap 1, so we should be pretty quick in the race. Finish up lap 2, probably still going to be last again. Try to use the apron. Yeah, starting last, 33.596. I imagine we'll be quick in the race. Usually when we qualify at the very back, we have the fastest car in the field. It's just going to be whether or not are we going to see wrecks. And if so, can we avoid them? I thought my game froze. Why am I against the wall before the race started? The heck was that? What a transition. 146 laps. Green flag is in the air. This is tight. This is very tight. Oh, they checked up going into the first turn. How was that not a wreck? Something happened. Well, we almost had a wreck in the first corner of the first lap. Carter Cathorn, Republic. Patrick Chadley, Wade, Michael Turner. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Oh, we got near trouble in 3 and 4. Yep, multiple trucks up near the wall, in the wall, in fact. Had to slow way down, go to the apron to try to miss everything. And Skinner will drive up to 24th on the opening lap of the race, already up 12 positions. Eric Darnell leads at the front of the field as he comes into this race second in points behind our driver, Mike Skinner. Yeah, we're probably going to see a lot of cautions in this one. Just the way that this race has started on that first lap already, I'm seeing a lot of yellows. We're not going to have enough laps to break the 38 caution record, but we'll see how far we can go. We did have the quickest car in both the Busch and the Cup race here, and I think we won both of them if my memory serves me correct. One car all the way down on the bottom of the racetrack. I couldn't tell if they blew a motor or not. I don't think they did. I think they were just basically driving on the apron on the back straightaway for no reason. Didn't have to go that low to make a pass. .268 already faster than our qualifying lap. Oh boy, 3 wide right in front of us. This is gonna get gnarly. I'm backing out of it. I know how these vehicles operate at this racetrack. We've done a few races here. I'm not taking any gambles. We got to pass trucks one at a time tonight. Oh man, a little contact there too. Got to protect the bottom. I don't want anybody getting alongside of me if I can help it. Travis Quapple to the lead. Most of the trucks through 3 and 4 that time running that middle to upper groove of the racetrack really opened up the bottom for Skinner to try to make some passes. He's cracked the top 20 already. About to be 3 wide right in front of us again. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That was on me. That was all me. I got a break getting into the corner. Give me room, please. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, I almost turned myself on the back straightaway there. Somebody just popped the wall in front of us. Oh my gosh, they almost wrecked. I thought I was going to be right in the middle of it. That truck that got clipped off the front bumper of the other one, I thought he was coming straight down the racetrack into us. Now they're 3 wide again. That 4-car group, 4-truck group. We've done the Cup Series 3 days in a row, so I might be calling these trucks cars for a while. Plus, the last few live commentary streams we've done have been car-related. Enjoying your day off today. 4.5 last night. A short little shift. Yeah, I forgot to sign up for overtime when I left work earlier. I kind of realized that after I left. I'm scared to go in tomorrow and them turning me away, because they've done that to people in the past, that if you don't sign up, they basically say, no, you can't work. And I got a 35-minute drive, so I really don't want to wake up at 4:45 in the morning, take the 35-minute drive just to tell them that I have to go back home. So I'm contemplating it, even though it was my intention to go in. Star of Jacob, thanks for tuning in. Maybe looking at getting into iRacing. I don't know much about that route, mainly because I haven't had like an iRacing setup on my own merit. But it's cool you're looking to get into it. I'd still highly recommend it. Wheel and Rip Daytona. The old Cletus route. And they're slowing down a ton here right in the middle of the corner. We caught him from a long ways back. Entering turn 3 to where we exited. Underneath one of the trucks, looking to make a pass for 16th. 3.7 seconds off the race leader, Quapple. We haven't had a caution. Oh my gosh, we got another truck up against the wall up there. We got smoke getting into 3. We've got smoke in the middle of 1 and 2. Back straightaway, I should say, not even into turn 3. Oh, we got more trouble! Oh my gosh, I didn't think I was going to be able to brake to get the car down that low on the racetrack in the middle of the corner. I thought I was going to pile right into the back of that guy. Hands are full. Drag racing game on Steam. Use the Xbox controller to play stupid fun online. I've never played any drag racing games. I've never really been into drag racing much. I have been to one drag racing event at Norwalk, but it wasn't NHRA. It was just pretty much a local deal. So it's not too far from where I live. It was just less than an hour drive. Oh, that's a hard lick. That was a pretty hard lick. I did drift up the racetrack a little bit. It was pretty tight. He was holding me tight, but I definitely left my line. Unintentionally, of course. I wasn't trying to slide up clear. I just couldn't hold the throttle and keep the truck down that low. Now they're stacking up again. Oh my gosh. Get out of harm's way. Almost in the top 10 already, though. We're only on lap 15 at the line. Still 3.2 seconds off the race lead. Eric Darnell's back out in front again as he got by the 6 at Quapple. And we have tracked the top 10 for the first time in the race, looking for 9th off of turn 2. 135 truck clear. Less than 3 seconds off the lead. Tell you what, we haven't had a caution yet, but we're probably going to have a lot of trucks roaming around with damage after some time. Got some smoke on the back straightaway. Again. These two made contact off the exit of the corner. I'm not going 3 wide. I barely had my nose in there, and I know I was going to get squeezed. Like I said, I got to try to pass these guys one at a time. I really need to avoid making any 3 wide maneuvers, even if they open the spacing up for me to do so. Oh, man, we're going to be 3 wide anyway. I thought the truck on the outside was going to get cleared by both me and the 126. Not the case. Still got in there 3 wide into turn 1. And cleared by the exit of the corner for 6th place. I'll take it. And we're going to lose that spot immediately after. Well, we were just less than 3 seconds back. Oh, we got tagged. What a save. Oh, my goodness. That thing was all over the place. Look at us gas her down off turn 4. Got a chance to get a spot out of it still. Bottom lane left wide open into turn 1, but not going to be able to capitalize off of it and get the spot. Oh my gosh, now we're getting squeezed on the high side. Slowed us up, and now everybody's behind us. Now we're 5 seconds off the lead. Thank you, whoever drives the 126. Look at this. What is he crowding me for? Whoa! This guy's got a vendetta against me or something. Ugh. What's that guy's problem? Oh my gosh. He won't go away. Oh my gosh, what is your problem, guy? I don't know who that is. Crossover, 3 wide. Johnny Benson in the middle. It's a hell of a battle for 6th. I don't know how we haven't wrecked yet. Give me the spot. Clear again. I got to run like halfway down the bottom just to make sure they don't get underneath me again. At least for a few laps till I start to put some distance on them. This is my brother. He ain't my kin. All right. Got some clean air. Try to narrow that gap down. That was a long battle for 6. I don't know how we didn't wreck. Not just me, but anybody else. I don't know how anybody else hasn't caused a caution yet. I've had a bunch of near wrecks throughout the field that we had to escape from and live to fight another lap. One truck slow on the apron, blowing the motor. Quickly have pulled away from everybody behind us once we did get them in the rearview mirror for longer than a lap. We'll alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in the race tonight. Waiting to see if this is going to be a 1 or a 2-stop race. Most of these truck races seem to be 1 stop. But on the 1.5 miles, it seems like right around 60 laps, give or take, is the fuel window. Which would mean that this would probably be a 2-stopper. It's a little bit longer than that 200-mile mark. Which would be about 134 laps. MotoGP merchant Ethan Chua, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, no wreckfest, at least for our sake. We had quite a few cautions at Talladega in the Cup race yesterday, 14 of them. That 500-mile event. And, well, they're speaking of caution, we've got our first yellow. Did not take long. Yeah, I'm definitely staying out of the pits. So bunch the field back together. We had a bit of a gap between ourselves and the next truck for position in front of us. Gonna have to go back to the far chase cam for now. Green flag back in the air, lap 29. Good launch on the restart initially for Mike Skinner. Picked up 1 spot. Almost got 2 of them. Block high, block low, and just like that, up to 5th. First time that Skinner has cracked the top 5 tonight. Eric Darnell leading. Left the bottom open. Oh my gosh. I gotta stop doing that because they don't give me room when they get underneath me in the middle of the corner like that. Holding on to 5th though. Even through the contact. Oh. Surprise clip in the apron. I was still able to clear him off turn 4. We are halfway out of gas. Surprised nobody pitted. little smoke on the front stretch. That wasn't for me either. Watch a bit of the. I can't read right now. Hang on. There's a big bump draft. I just gave that truck right in front of us. No, I don't plan on watching any hockey this weekend. At least Saturday. I'm not going to have a lot of time to, because even after qualifying's done, we're going to have probably less than an hour until the truck race starts. So we have a little contact with Eric Darnell. He slammed into me. More often than not, it's been them hitting me rather than me hitting them. Oh, God, I thought he was going to do it again. I overreacted. But I've been there before, so I had a reason to overreact. Got to run on the outside for the lead on Chad McCumbee. And being on the bottom, he's not going to give us a lot of room. Squeezes us up the racetrack. Lost quite a bit of ground. Hold a steady wheel, though. Off turn 4. Going to get a run from the high side. Cutting low. First lap led of the race for Mike Skinner at the line. That's 5 bonus points. Lap 34 and looking to clear into turn 1 for the lead. McCumbee is still on the outside and holding strong. Clipped the apron, slowed the mid-corner speed down just a bit, but still clear. Off of turn 2, and now a block down the backstretch. How long can Skinner hold on to the lead for? McCumbee's all the way down on the apron getting into the corner. I don't know how he held that much mid-corner speed entering that low, but he did. 2 consecutive laps led down for Skinner. Big tonight for the Game 4 Nations. Yeah, I haven't watched a single bit of that. I've seen a lot of highlights from it, but I haven't watched it. It's big right now. I mean, there's obviously not a lot of other sports going on, especially during the week. It does seem like there's a lot of Americans watching. I've been hearing a lot of people at work talk about it that don't watch hockey or I didn't know would have watched hockey. So they're probably going through their football withdrawals right now, if I had to guess. Considering last week was the first week with no football since, if you count college, late August. Well, I mean, I guess if you count preseason too, I guess go back to July. Now that we have the lead and have the track position, it's going to be tough to beat us. Got about halfway through the fuel run. It's going to be a 2-stop race today unless we get a bunch of cautions. We've only had 1 so far. Nobody pitted during that lone yellow. I'd imagine with it being a 2-stop race, we can maybe consider pitting under the next yellow. Because we're right at about that window now to be able to make it on 2 stops. A lot of smoke off turn 2 again. Yeah, this is kind of like the Busch race, where we're still seeing a lot of the craziness we had in the Cup race, but the wrecks were more violent in the Cup, that it warranted cautions more often than not. Where in the Busch Series, we only had a few of them, despite carnage everywhere all the time. And we're seeing that same kind of carnage almost everywhere all the time in the truck race, with just the 1 yellow up to this point. We'll probably get more. Consider we still have a little over 100 laps to go. Only quarter tank of gas left. Maybe it's going to be a 3-stop race. I might be burning more fuel than I thought I was. Missed the bottom of the track. Actually still carried quite a bit of speed through the corner. I can grip well on the outside. I feel like I have way more grip in this truck than I did in either the Busch or the Cup race, especially when I came off of the bottom lane of the racetrack. It's a gaggle, though, back there from second through, I don't even know where the battle ends. Probably 6th or 7th, if I had to guess. Got a 1-second lead, lap 43 in this race. More smoke in turns 1 and 2. Waiting to see exactly how far we're going to go. Go back to trying to alternate through the different camera angles again. We got paused only 2 laps into it the last time because of that lone caution. We've seen a couple drivers blow up. I don't know how many. I haven't looked at the leaderboard hardly at all this race. About to find out because we're getting to the tail end of it right now. Fastest laps at 33.087. I guess only one driver's out. Thought I saw more than that. It's a little confusing because we see some drivers down in the apron trying to make a pass on the back straightaway. And a couple times I thought that somebody might have blown an engine down there, but they were just actually racing there. Noah Howe's up to second, fantasy driver who seems to really be the best fantasy driver on a consistent basis. And he does have 1 win on the season. A couple fantasy drivers actually have wins, but I feel like Noah Howe is consistently in the top 5. I believe he's 3rd in points behind ourselves, who lead the pack, and then Eric Darnell, who's 2nd. We'll only have 16 races to go in this season after this race is over. Clicking by very fast. About 1/8 of a tank of fuel left, as our crew chief just alerted us, so we could probably make it to about lap 51 or 52. So lap 40, I believe, is when we got to a 1/4 of a tank. I guess it's still going to be 2 stops then if we can go 50 laps. It's just going to be more borderline 2 stops than what I was thinking, so I'm really glad I did not pit during that first caution. And at least now I know that we're getting to the end of this first fuel run. And basically, we get close to about 50 laps to go, we'll have to consider pitting again, depending on if we get any cautions around lap 100, lap 96-ish, 95, somewhere around there. Probably stretch it. So I don't think this is going to be the last yellow that we saw back at lap, we restarted at lap 29, but lap 49. Catching a lapper. I don't know if it's somebody that's off the pace or not. I'd like to stretch this run out as far as we can in case we catch another caution too. Definitely not going to be short pitting if I can help it. 151. And definitely not a slow truck. Johnson, I just noticed, it said DNF, and he's in 15th. So somebody else is blowing a motor somewhere around the racetrack. Trying to get back to pit road. I just happened to glance up at the leaderboard again and noticed it right at that time. I think I'm going to just go one more lap. We'll go to 51. We've got some trucks pitting this time. Got about a 1.9 second lead, and now it's on the pit crew to have a fast 4-tire stop. I don't plan on making any adjustments. Pit road speed limit 70 miles an hour, as it is for every track on this game, just like the other EA games we've played prior. We shall see. I didn't practice, I only qualified. I could have taken that way deeper. Oh, caution came out. I think I hit the commitment line right before the yellow flag came out, though. This might be perfect timing yellow for us. I'm pretty sure I hit the commitment line. If I had... Yeah, I definitely hit it. I definitely hit it. It was seconds after. So we should be able to cycle back up towards the front of the field, luckily. We'll have to wait and see what the caution's out for exactly. Debris? No, we had a wreck. We had a legitimate wreck this time. I would assume it was probably drivers trying to pit and then ran over each other. The way they were sporadically around the apron of the racetrack like that, right in the middle of 3 and 4 as well. Definitely staying out, obviously, because nowhere near as massive of a wreck as we had at Dega. We're in the lead. All right, let's do this. Lap 55, restart, green flag back in the air. All right. Well, right as we were going to green, it sounds like somebody's going to be returning to the racetrack that had an engine issue earlier. Only got 2 drivers out of the race. Really, we just got to survive the restarts is going to be the big thing here. Ah! Chad McCumbee lurking, wanting that lead. It's going to get tight down into turn 1 if I can't get back down to the bottom. It's giving us quite a bit of room. We're getting freight train now. I'm backing out. I'm backing out. 3 wide. That was getting very tight, and I didn't like my chances of not getting squeezed off the exit of the corner. They made contact, and I thought about it. Starting to run out of real estate. Well, Chad McCumbee leading quite a few laps in this race, though. Up to second for Mike Skinner. Bottom lane open, had some clean air through the middle of the corner, and the caution flag's out behind us. All right. Well, we've got the restart gear in it to at least get a spot or two, so we should get back to the lead, I would imagine, into turns 1 and 2. Second place is a good spot for us when we're getting through the gears. Wonder how many more debris cautions we're going to get. There were quite a few drivers collected in that second incident. Got the lead into turn 1 as expected. Great launch compared to Chad McCumbee. McCumbee down towards the apron. I did lift up the racetrack quite a bit. Ooh, caution, and that was simultaneous. I don't know who had the lead there. It looked like I was scored in second, but it was close. And now it's debris off of Travis Quapple's truck, rather. 4 cautions in tonight's race. Bentley Potts, also welcome to the stream. I didn't notice you in the chat earlier. I apologize. Can't wait for summer. Yeah, I can't wait for it to get warm too. I want to golf. My racing withdrawals have been fixed over the last couple of weeks now. Now I just need my golfing withdrawals to be completely fixed. Got back to the lead again. That one was my fault. That I could have blocked. I had plenty of time to block him, and I was just too slow. And we lost a spot. Caution's out again. Our 5th one of the race. So, what, 3 straight debris cautions now? The 5 yellows we've seen. Now we're starting to add them up. It took a while. Once we got just over 40 laps into the race, we've had 4 yellows in the last less than 20 laps. Oh, it didn't even get to speed that time. Ran right into the back of him. As soon as I crossed the start-finish line, caution's out. It was just like Talladega yesterday. We're not even going that fast. Like, you would think that the debris wouldn't fall off yet. If we're going that slow, how did it not fall off when we were just randomly under caution? Yeah, this is the perfect definition of cautions breeding cautions. High school friend invited me to a wedding. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm not big on weddings, but congratulations to them, and hopefully you have fun. So we've seen 2 wrecks, and we've had 4 debris cautions since the second wreck. We didn't have any debris cautions after the first one. Green flag is in the air. We're at lap 73. Maybe we can get them both. Definitely going to get the 126. Got to the inside of Chad McCumbee, getting into turn 1. Side by side for the lead, and clear. Man, I was committed. That was close. Oh, big run on the bottom. Noah Howe, Johnny Benson, and caution's out again. As soon as we got the lead back, I was worried about trying to block the 2 trucks we passed, and then 4th and 5th place on the restart got to the lead. My goodness. Seven cautions. We've had 5 straight debris yellows from that big wreck. That's going to be the most debris cautions we've had in a row. Usually it's like 3 or 4 at the most. We've had 5 straight debris yellows. I think that's Noah Howe's truck in the lead, by the way. I think. All right, well, green flag's back in the air again. Lap 77. Got one of them. I'm blocking the bottom. Oh, just got hit from behind by McCumbee. Gave me a little boost, actually. I wiggled a bit, but I held on to it. Got some speed on the front stretch. Here we go. Trying to get the lead back again. Lap 78 on the inside. McCumbee with a run on the top. I gave up too much time getting into the corner, being on the bottom of the track. Got some more damage on the apron. I did not want to be on the outside getting into the corner again. I get squeezed up there. Every time I tried to make a pass on the outside, just got to find a hole on the bottom as soon as it opens up and go for it. And here we go, and Mike Skinner has the lead at the line. Lap 80. So we are just past halfway. Again, 7 cautions, 5 for debris. Eric Darnell's back into second. It's been a while since we've seen him up in the top couple positions. Led quite a few laps there that first fuel run before Skinner got to the lead. Skinner's probably led the most laps so far, but it's got to be pretty close between at least a few drivers. Fastest lap is a 33.087. That was on the first fuel run of the race. I believe that might have been after the first caution as well. So we were about halfway through that fuel run at that time. Once again, though, we're going to try to go as far as we can before pitting. I wanted to make that green flag stop earlier. It's actually, looking back on it, because I babied it going into the pits, had I not tried to gas it up, who knows if I would have hit the commitment line before the caution came out. Because it was probably less than 2 seconds of a difference of hitting that commitment line or not. I was babying it into the pits at first. But then when I realized that I gassed it up, trying to get as close to 70 as I could, so we were down to about 56 or so, I want to say. Was as slow as I was at one point. If we had kept that speed to the commitment line, I would have lost some time, and I would have had that penalty send us to the back of the field. All the debris cautions, we'd still be back there. Only had, what, 5 green flag laps, about to be 6 at the line during this run. Billy Kramer, welcome to the stream. Up to 16 likes right now. Our goal is, well, usually it's 25 for the cup races. Those are a little longer. I mean, I guess we can make the goal 25. I don't know if we're going to be able to get there. We don't have a lot of race left. Being past halfway. These truck races are quite a bit shorter. There's that slow truck, by the way. We haven't caught because of all the cautions, but we're about to catch him very soon. We had to deal with our fair share of those at Talladega in the Cup race yesterday. Got to be well off the pace. And like 4 or 5 of them at one point in the Cup race. Simultaneously, too. Wow, I cannot believe how quick I caught him in the middle of the corner. I had plenty of time to move to the outside. I was just waiting to the last second because I didn't want him to move up. Try to crowd us like they tend to do sometimes. I'm getting used to this game and its mannerisms. What the AI tend to do on a regular basis. It's kind of helped me stay out of trouble in this one, really. Despite all the trouble that's been around us. Got close to being in some accidents at times, but was able to keep the truck steady at the very least and continue onward, make some moves. Didn't have to work, so you stayed inside. Yeah, it was definitely cold out there. It was cold here, too. It wasn't as cold as what you said you were going to get weather-wise. I actually got a few inches of snow during the day. During the day, and then when I woke up in the morning, we had a little bit on the ground, too. I had zero clue it was supposed to snow at all. Actually, I think, though, the snow that was on the streets and stuff when I came back, because the roads were kind of bad when I left work. It's mainly just because it was all drifted over from the morning because we had some high winds. There's some pretty high snowbanks on that. It's like this country road, basically, where I have to pull into work. There's vehicles coming the other way. I had to actually stop and let the one vehicle through because I wouldn't have been able to actually drive over the correct side of the road because the snowbank was up so high. My car sits pretty low to the ground. I didn't want to damage the front bumper at all. Damage the splitter. Would have been the equivalent of driving through wet grass with a NASCAR. NASCAR stock car. Would have just plowed that thing. Past halfway through the fuel run. Definitely going to be able to go well past lap 100 with the cautions we had. Since we pitted, we technically would have had 6 cautions because we were on pit road when the second one came out, so we would have had the caution laps on the back side of it, plus the 5 debris yellows. If we have 3 to 4 laps of caution, I mean, we're probably going to be able to go within 30 laps left in this race before we have to pit, if I had to guess. Maybe right around there. Maybe a little more than 30. Just from when I hit halfway out of gas. But well past lap 100. Why I need a lawnmower? For the snow? Couldn't you just get a snowblower? I mean, a lawnmower would do the job, but I feel like it would hurt the engine. I know, like, the push mowers, they tend to not want to start when the weather is cold, so I can imagine, like, a ride mower, it can't be good on the engine either. Yeah, I got my dad a snowblower for Christmas a few years ago. I think it was a year after I stopped working at the Lowe's store, so it was probably 2020 if I had to guess. Like 2020's Christmas. And I think he's only used that thing like twice. We've actually had quite a bit of snow this year. I'm surprised he hasn't used it at all this year. My theory is that he needs to put more gas in it and he doesn't feel like going to the gas station to get more gas. That's what I'm assuming the case is. Now that I'm back here, I've basically been doing like the shoveling and stuff, so guess he doesn't need to use it. He's got me. I'm his snowblower. Got a 2-second lead, lap 95 at the line. I did see Travis Quapple blowing an engine down the back straightaway when we passed that last time, and he had quite a bit of damage from that big wreck, which took place right before lap 50. Slowly catching some lap traffic. I mean, you look at the track map and the top 10 kind of compacted together for the most part. They're pretty much all in that 2.5-second gap back behind us in one giant pack. And there's one car, maybe another second or less off of that. What grip for me to be able to do that. Had some skid marks up against the wall. I thought that truck that might have hit the wall off turn 2 wasn't that far in front of us. That's why I went down that low. That still worked. Josh Fenstermaker, thanks for tuning in. Calls are the most important thing to me. The way I am with you anyway. You're a good person in the world. Cups and... I have no clue exactly what you're talking about. But very appreciate you tuning into the stream. $21 Menards. That a Paul Menard fan? When he drove the Wood Brothers? DiBenedetto had some Menard sponsorship, I think, when he was there, too. Paul Menard kind of handpicked him to drive that car. And I think ever since Harrison Burton took over, I don't remember seeing any Menard's colors on the car anymore, even though they're still affiliated with Penske. Still a B-tier team, but under the Penske kind of partnership. More near trouble off turn 2. Still not quite to a quarter of a tank of gas left. We're definitely in the window with less than 50 to go. Lap 100. Hey, Salshire, thanks for tuning in. Three-second lead built up now. All it takes is one caution, though. We saw how hard it was to try to hold on to the lead every single restart we had. Contact. That guy was on the apron. Like, he was going to cut me off no matter what there. He didn't care how much speed we were carrying compared to him. Watching you play, yep. Yep. Yeah, this isn't online. I don't think the servers are still up for NASCAR 08. That'd be wild if EA Sports kept their server up for like NASCAR 09 because that's the last game they came out with. They just said, screw it. I think it'd be wild if we still had the technology to just have the servers up for like basically every video game ever made for online purposes. But I guess in that case, if you ever found a favorite, nobody would wean their way off of it. Well, I wouldn't say nobody. There'd still be people, but they probably wouldn't make as much money with the profit on the newer game, I guess. So that's probably why they do it. That'd be sweet. Yeah, I mean, in an alternate universe, that would be my way of going about it. I don't think we'd ever go back to playing a modern NASCAR game. I mean, I would probably test out NASCAR 25 still when that drops, but I think we would have just been doing some like online lobbies of NASCAR Thunder 2004. We might have never even left that game. Would have been that in 05, and I would have been all right with that. A dog that likes Kyle Busch, thanks for tuning in. Man, you're sick too? Everybody's getting sick. I was sick. I'm still kind of feeling it in my voice. I'll tell you what, man. I don't wish laryngitis, excuse me, got to pronunciate that correctly. I don't wish that upon anybody, because I'm still feeling the effects of not having my voice to 100%. I had that over a month ago. And I'm honestly kind of scared. It's not going to be back to the way it once was. NASCAR 2000. Yeah, I haven't played that. The earliest NASCAR game I had growing up was NASCAR Thunder 2002. You were sick 2 weeks ago? Yeah, there's a few people that are watching tonight that are upper form. 40 laps to go this time by. I'm just going to end up short pitting here pretty soon. Give myself a couple more laps. Try to go to lap 108. Skinner just clinched the most laps led with exactly 40 laps to go here at Las Vegas. And again, this was originally a two-stop race. 3 sets of tires total, so we still have 1 set left after we make the next pit stop. Got out of school for a couple days because of the amount of people sick. Wow. I think I remember that being a thing. There was one year, granted, I went to a pretty small school where, like, my graduating class had, I don't even know. Yeah, big slow up here. My graduating class had, I think, 60 people. But anyway, I can remember vividly in middle school, there was this one time, this one year where almost everybody was sick. Like, we had single-digit people that were there. Now, granted, some of them just could have been, like, skipping or whatever. Especially with everybody else sick. It might not have been single digits. It might have been in the teens, but even still, like, there was probably, like, 19 people there or something. We had over 2/3 of our entire class was just sick. That's not even counting some of the other grades. They might have canceled school. I really can't remember. But I do remember there being a time where there were a lot of kids sick. Luckily, I wasn't one of them. I really got sick much growing up. Well, here's our 4-tire stop. Pretty clean one. 18.3 seconds. No mistakes. We just need everything to cycle through. We are still going to be on the lead lap. So that's good. Caution comes out, we'll be able to cycle back out in front. Very shocked that we're still on the lead lap. That was a very fast stop by the pit crew. I didn't baby it as much as that first pit stop entry. But I definitely didn't take it as fast as I could have. But I didn't speed either. And we sped at Talladega yesterday. So sometimes trying to push for it. It's one thing. You got almost a 4-second lead. There's no real need to have to try to force the issue. You lose a couple seconds. You lose a couple seconds. You're still going to have the lead. $17 likes on the stream now. We are getting closer to that goal of 25. Caution's out right before we got to the start-finish line. A little less than 40 to go, and this is our 8th caution of the night. Oh, my gosh, I thought he was going to roll it over. Eric Darnell who was up towards the front of the pack. Looked like he was going to try to dive to pit road, lost control after coming from the bank into the apron. He was carrying way too much speed when he went down there. And nosed it into the inside retaining wall. No safer barrier down there. That was before Jeff Gordon crashed into the back straightaway wall. That's probably why there's no safer barrier. That was a concrete wall that man just hit. Well, no pit stop for us. And we're right back in the lead as we were the only truck, I should say, specifically that hit pit road. Green flag back in the air, lap 115. Good restart. There's quite a few lap cars on the bottom of the racetrack. They're going to get in the way of the leaders behind us. 32 laps to go at Vegas. I can definitely tell that the lap trucks are behind us, at least the first two of them, because we still got a 6/10 of a second lead. About 7/10. So a couple of buffer trucks between us and second. Oh, they got loose off turn 2. Wadded them up quite a bit back there and nearly had a wreck. And that's going to grow the lead out to a 2.5 for Mike Skinner. 30 to go this time by. It'd be great if it stayed green, but no guarantees that that's going to happen. Truck and Xfinity start this weekend. Trucks start at 1:30 Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern for the Xfinity Series on Saturday. Cup qualifying's at 11:30 a.m. No practice for any of the series. And I think qualifying is on Friday for Truck and Xfinity in the afternoon. 3 and 5, I believe. No live commentary for that. So we'll technically be going live right here on the channel just after Xfinity qualifying. 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night, we'll have a truck race of our own. At Michigan, my home track. 100-lapper. Well, if we win this race, we'll have a chance to try to go for back-to-back. Pause for a quick second. I gotta clear my throat. Okay, we're good. We're good. I made sure I muted the mic that time. All right. Joe Campbell, thanks for tuning in. That's what I mean, man. I'm still suffering from laryngitis. Well, I mean, not... I got my voice back, thankfully. Could you imagine if I didn't have my voice for like over a month? Oh, that'd be terrible. I'll tell you what. If you guys could have heard my voice, I should have put up like a short, like 30-second clip explaining how I wasn't going to be able to stream for the week that I did, because my voice was not existent. You guys would have been like, man, I feel so sorry for him because he has nothing. There was nothing. It was just squeakiness. It was high-pitched whispering, basically. And then if I tried to actually raise my voice, it was just a squeaky sound. I was trying not to actually talk. I was trying to either not say anything at all, or if somebody tried to ask me something, especially with having to work that Thursday when I had it, I was like trying to whisper to them, but it's so loud in the warehouse, so they couldn't hear me. And I'm like, just forget it. You're not going to be able to hear me. I've got nothing for you today. Got some more smoke in turns 3 and 4. Got about a 1-second lead. Pack really starting to space out quite a bit again, just like we saw in the last restart once we got out in front. More smoke into turn 3. I really need this to stay green. That was by far the best restart I've had the whole race. It doesn't matter what position. Of the 8 cautions, that was the first one that not only we didn't lose a spot, we weren't side by side. We got by the lap truck. We had 2 of them in front of us because second place kind of fell back. And then they had that stack up off turn 2 the second lap after the restart. And we've had about at least a 1 second lead ever since, which would have been all the way back at lap... Hush came out lap 110, so I would imagine it was like lap 113, 114. Here we are, 1.1 second lead again. It does seem like they're maybe starting to close on us a bit. Some of the faster trucks might have finally gotten through that lap traffic and are starting to gain a little bit of ground on Skinner. Skinner's largest lead of the day, almost 4 seconds right before that green flag pit stop with just less than 40 laps to go. Caution came out a few laps later. We were still on the lead lap. We cycled back out in front. So by technicality, we have a few lap older tires, but it's not by much. And with this being a full race and Vegas being a freshly repaved racetrack for this season, on this game, we really haven't had hardly any tire wear all night. Honestly, with the lack of tire wear we have had, I probably could have gotten away with not taking tires on that first stop, but still wanted to take them because we had them at the availability. Obviously, it didn't really cost us anything track position-wise. So yeah, that checked itself out. 20 to go this time by. Getting closer to the finish. .2 second advantage. Slowly gapped them a bit. They did bring it down to about a 9/10 of a second gap. More smoke middle of the back straightaway. Just hang on to it, guys. 20 more laps. I don't want to have to deal with another restart the rest of this race. Still at 17 likes. Be sure to hit that like button if you haven't done so yet. At least try to get that to 20 before the end of the stream. Slow truck. He tried. He tried to block me for nothing. I didn't realize Eric Darnell DNF'd when he hit the wall earlier, too. So that last caution that we ended up having, he wrecked in the middle of 3 and 4 and has not continued on. That concrete wall did him. No safer barrier. It was a tough hit. Head on. He hit hard, too. Back to a 1.5 lead. That slow car we passed ended up slowing them down a little bit more. About 3/10 quicker than second place at last lap because of it. More smoke in the middle of the turns 3 and 4 wall. Gosh, they keep doing this. We're going to get quite a few trucks with debris again. I mean, we've had so many debris cautions already today. 3 crashes, 5 debris yellows. The worst thing that could happen not only is 1 caution and 1 restart, because we're fast enough after a couple green flag laps to get back to the lead if we lose it, but it's if we have consecutive restarts, because we fell back as far as 5th when that was going on earlier. Really cost us a shot to try to win this race. We clearly have the truck to beat. I mean, we have since the very beginning of this one, even starting at the back of the pack, just with how broken qualifying is for the most part in this game. And our fiercest competitors are out of the race, too. Quapple was quick, led some laps early. Darnell started on the pole, led quite a few laps, and both of them are out. So that even opens the door up even more for us. No how. Must have lost a lot of track position after that second pit stop because he's been nowhere to be found since that last restart. Not in the top couple positions, at least. Second or third behind us. Which after second and third place, there is We're at least a half a straightaway, if not more than that, ahead of fourth. $14 to go. Looks like this might be TJ Bell up here. It's definitely not a fantasy driver. Looks like TJ. $13 to go, still second and a half lead. Still green, it's a big thing here. Yeah, that fastest lap of the race is still holding, too. That's held for over 100 laps now. I don't think we're going to be able to top that the rest of the race, 33.087. Chad McCumbie's out, too. He also led laps. It was looking pretty quick. I didn't realize he was out. So 3 of our probably biggest competitors for the win is out of the race. We already had the slightly faster truck than them, but those were the drivers we struggled the most against on the restarts, and all 3 of them are done. That's huge for the points, too, because Eric Darnell was second, and it was still a pretty tight gap between first and second in points, but it's not going to be any more, especially if Skinner wins. Be a max points day. We've already clinched the most laps led. $11 to go at the line. 1.7 second lead now. Largest lead of this green flag run since the restart at lap 113. 23 lap green flag run to this point. 26 trucks on the lead lap. And yes, TJ Bell is the first truck, 1 lap down in 27th. And again, we just lapped him a couple laps ago. 2-second lead now. Bell might be holding up second place. For us to just expand about a half a second over the last 2 laps. Halfway out of gas, plenty of fuel to make it to the end. 10 to go at the line here for Skinner. This feels like a longer green flag run to the end than what it actually is. Just because we have had the 8 cautions today. And because we have the lead. The only thing that can ruin us is that yellow. Either been really good or really bad on the restarts. Kind of no in between. I've got to protect the bottom of that first lap. That's the big thing. They get to the apron and they wreck me, so be it, but I don't want to give them the actual racing line. Especially once they get up there, they've crowded me a ton today. Can't afford that late in the race. It's one thing to lose the race, another thing to wreck ourselves out of it. Especially with the drivers around us in points all having poor performances as far as the finishing results go. Darnell's had almost as many top 5s as us in the Truck Series season so far, too. Checking up a little early into 3. Just enough room on the bottom. It was tight, though. 131. The truck didn't really hold a steady line in that middle groove. Almost exactly 1 to a lane and a half off the bottom of the racetrack. Off that white line. Anything could happen in NASCAR 8. Anything could happen in a full race. But yeah, we get a lot of cautions in this game from AI-related incidences. I'd say more cautions in this EA game than what we've seen across the other EA games total. Like every once in a while, we get into a caution fest, like a Sonoma NASCAR 07. That race was just a caution fest, but very few and far between we'd have stuff like that. This game, it's like every couple races we get Wreckfest. And we tend to not get that many wrecks in the truck series on this game because we've actually had 4 caution-free races of the 8 we've had so far. But then tonight, 8 yellows, most we've had in the series this season. Which again, considering we broke the NASCAR record in the Cup race for cautions at Vegas, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, just think if this was a Cup Series race length, we'd be just over halfway with the 8 yellows. So definitely in that case, we'd see a lot more. Just 5 laps to go. 25 trucks in the lead lap. Going to catch another one here, probably in 3 and 4. If not, it'll be early next lap. Trucks just had a lot of grip today, too. 4 to go. 2.9 second lead. That lap truck probably going to hold them up. We've definitely gotten through lap traffic a lot better than everybody else. Hasn't been congested at all the whole time, though. It's been pretty steady going. Kind of catching them one by one. They're very spaced out. Ready to go. Just got to get to that white flag is the big thing. Trying to do a better burnout than I did the last time I won the Cup race at Phoenix a couple nights ago. I couldn't keep that thing off the wall to save my life in the burnout. We'll have more asphalt, though, here at Vegas. So it should be better. I'd say for the most part, all things considered, the way the race started, especially for us in the middle of all that mess, we made the most for ourselves, keeping the truck clean. Just ran my fastest lap of the race on the third to last lap of the event, 33.017. I didn't think we were going to be able to beat our best lap, and sure enough, took over 110 of them, but we finally beat it. Right before the finish. White flag. 4-second lead, largest lead of the race. And a cruise to victory for Mike Skinner. He's not going to catch another lap truck the rest of the race. And more smoke going into turn 3. They could have wrecked there, but we're still green. I don't see him stacking up too badly on the track map, so they must not have wrecked. Checkered flag is waving, and Mike Skinner is a winner again on the truck season. And we're going to sweep Las Vegas. We won across all 3 series here. I will take that. Winner, winner. Chicken dinner. Too bad I don't have that cheddar sponsorship. We can be eating free almost every night. Good thing it wasn't the old Golden Corral sponsorship where Dave Blaney just had to finish the top 10 and he'd eat free. We would have done that with our Dave Blaney season on NASCAR 7. We would have been eating free at Golden Corral for like a month. I think we had almost 30 top 10s that season. Led 90 of 146 laps. Margin of victory 4.1 seconds. Average race speed 114.94 mile per hour. 1 hour, 54 minutes, 18 seconds. Total time of the race, 26 lead changes, 8 cautions. Most of those lead changes were on restarts. Noah Howe finishes in second. Again, I mentioned earlier, he's one of the best, if not the best, most consistent fantasy driver. He led 14 laps. En route to the second place finish. A lot of fantasy drivers in the top 10. We had a lot of actual drivers DNF. C. Fletcher finished third. Spencer Carswell fourth. Billy Chapman fifth. George Tinkin sixth. Wilson Eubanks seventh. M. Davis 8th, Johnny Benson 9th, which was our teammate H. Jackson, rounds out the top 10. Down the leaderboard a little bit. Again, only 25 trucks finished on the lead lap. And as far as DNFs go, we had W. Irving, which is a fantasy driver, Travis Quapple, Eric Darnell, Chad McCumbee, D. Johnson, which is a fantasy driver, all DNF'd in this event. That's 5 drivers total who failed to make it to the finish. We'll take a look at the point standings and then get on out of here, and we'll have a truck race again tomorrow at Michigan at 6 p.m. Eastern on NASCAR 08 on the channel, and we'll have live commentary content from Atlanta again this weekend. Michigan 200, 100-lap race. I always like racing at my home track. California was a struggle for us, though, so there's no guarantees that we're going to have a perfect run at Michigan. That's probably going to be a really tough race for me, honestly. Pull my Google Docs really quick. I didn't have it up before the start of the stream. That's the wrong one. I had the Cup season up. Need the trucks. Uh, 19th. I knew it was my worst finish. It was the only finish outside the top 10 on the truck season. 19th at California Speedway for us. Eric Darnell DNFing. We have a 275-point lead now. That's massive. Johnny Benson, our teammate, is 5th in points. Quapple DNF'd as well today, who was not that far back in 3rd, falls to 4th. Know How with the 2nd place finish and bonus points will move up to 3rd in the standings. So that is a look at the top 5. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in here tonight. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you have not already. Again, 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. We are going to be live for that Michigan truck race. And thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good rest of your Thursday. 20 likes on the stream, so be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you haven't yet. I think we're only like 2 subscribers away from... Let me see here. Pretty sure we were 2... Well, now we're 5. Okay, well, now we're... We had a couple people unsubscribe, I think, over the last couple hours during this stream. That's unfortunate. We're 5 subscribers away from 5,800 on the stream. We don't get there in the next 24 hours. We will definitely get there on Saturday with our live commentary content. All right, thank you, everybody. Have a good rest of your Thursday again. See you tomorrow.